Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the War Train here. Now do me a favor, if you're not already subscribed, think about subscribing to the channel, guys. I try to put gaming content out like this on a steady basis, and if you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor, please give it a thumbs up. Now with that said, today's video, I want to go over basically the comments that I got from the Arcade 1-Up Wishlist video. Now, I put out some suggestions of Arcade 1-Up cabinets that I would absolutely love to see. Some probably would never be made, but I also asked for, you guys to leave comments of which ones you guys would like to see. And you did. A lot of comments, and it was absolutely awesome. I had a lot of fun just reading all these and, hearing everybody's suggestions. You're talking different age groups of people, having just different tastes in games, and all of them were good. I mean, I don't think there was one bad game on there. There's so many great games. A lot of things I didn't even think of, but were so obvious. It was like, man, that would be so cool. If you took this game and that game and merged that into a cabinet, I mean, it would be crazy. But I want to go over, a list of most of these games and some of the top ones so that you guys can hear what you guys suggested. Like I said, it's absolutely cool just to hear what maybe somebody else said, because there was some absolutely great ideas here. And I doubt Arcade 1-Up would ever see this, but man, I'll tell you what, it would be good, I think, if they did, because I think there's some good stuff here, and it would be so cool to see. So let's get into this list. Now, I'll go over pretty much some of the top ones right away, and then, just some of the different ones that people randomly threw out there. Now, one that I heard multiple times and didn't ever think of was Tapper. This is basically like a bar-style game, and you know what? The cabinet looks awesome. It has a saloon-style look to it, and that's one thing that I think this would actually pull in a different kind of consumer as well. You would have just guys that have man caves and stuff that just want something that kind of fits and just, looks right there. And I think something like that would actually pull in more than just gamers, even non-gamers that just want something cool for their man cave. Or their bar or whatever. So I thought that was a really good one, and I looked up the cabs online just to see what these things looked like, and they were awesome looking, and I could definitely see one of these in somebody's man cave or bar. I would like to have one here, to be honest with you, but that was a really cool one that I heard multiple times that I never would have thought about. And let's see here, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That was a big one, and I'm not surprised. I mentioned that in the video, and who knows? Arcade 1-Up may do this in the future. This could be something that they plan on releasing, but maybe they want to get some other releases out first, cash in a little bit, and then they'll put out some juggernauts. Because let's face it, these arcade cabinets they're putting out, they keep getting better. The quality of them's getting better. They're putting better buttons on them. They're putting lighted marquees on now. You're talking dual speakers. They're starting to get some things right. The volume's got a slider now, so now you just don't have off, low and high. You have, whatever you want to put it as, from low, medium, high, a little less than high. I mean, you got choices now. You can buy cabinets like the limited edition Marvel one, where you can get sandwich sticks and buttons in it. And another guy, Pat from Game On, the channel Game On, go check him out. He actually sent me a link where they actually have that cabinet as well, with not sandwich buttons and sticks, but it has the lighted marquee, the custom riser, but it has lighted buttons. It doesn't have, like I said, the sandwich buttons, but it has lighted buttons, and it looks really cool. It actually makes a lot of sense because it kind of looks like the Infinity Stones lit up for the buttons. So super cool. But moving on here, Dragon's Lair. That was a huge one too. Now that makes a lot of sense. That was a game, it's super hard. I dumped a ton of money into it and was horrible at it, but that machine just drew me in for years. It just looks amazing, and it did then, it does now, but you know, it's one of those things, that thing eats money like crazy. And as a kid, I just could not get further in that game. I'd get a little further, I just die, dump some more money in. I think it was like $1 a play or whatever, but man, I'll tell you what. But to have something like that in your house, you know, you'd be able to get through the game because, you know, you don't have to pump money into it. So that could definitely be cool. So that was a popular one, and I also was told about a link on Cool Toy where you can actually sign a petition for Dragon's Lair on there to Arcade 1-Up. So if you want that to be made into an Arcade 1-Up console, you could sign the petition, and Arcade 1-Up had said that they are interested in doing it, but they want people to let them know about it. So if you want that to happen, go on Cool Toy, check out that link, and sign that petition. Alright, so Simpsons, another juggernaut one. Everybody wants to see the Simpsons, and I mentioned that in the video. I'm pretty sure that's like the Ninja Turtles. Everybody loves that. Simpsons are really popular, still are. The games are, that especially the arcade games. So that's a big hit with people that they want to see that. And I think that would deserve its own cabinet with its own artwork. And I'm sure that's what they would want to do, just like the Ninja Turtles. You know, because they could have easily put Simpsons on here, but I don't think they would do that, because now you're talking two huge franchises. They would like to capitalize on each one individually, I'm sure. One of the biggest ones, Daytona USA. Now, that was one I mentioned, and driving games would be sick. Oh my god, they would be so much fun. So that was a big hit as well. That was one of the most popular ones. And for good reasons. The game's awesome, and that would just be, it would be too cool. And there was also one person had said about putting a couple on that cabinet with Daytona USA, Crazy Taxi, and Pole Position. Now that would be a really cool one. Imagine that trio of games, something like Crazy Taxi on its own, or just Daytona, or, you know, but adding those with Pole Position, you got variety, you got old stuff, you know, newer stuff, you know, and just a real awesome genre, which is Crazy Taxi with hype music and stuff. I don't know if they have licensed music and stuff, I can't remember, in the arcade game, but that could be maybe a problem, but they could probably change the music in there. I don't see where that would be like the hugest problem. I know they did it a little bit with the Ninja Turtles. They had to remix the main song and stuff, so. But moving on, we had Qbert, and Qbert with Frogger and Dig Dug. Now that could be a really high selling, you know, cabinet. I could definitely see that selling. I would really want to see Qbert on the artwork though, because Qbert, it's got a cool look, you know, it's this little guy with a foul mouth, definitely something I remember as a kid playing a lot of. And Donkey Kong, that would be awesome, and that would definitely sell. Donkey Kong, and I would like to see with Donkey Kong, not only just the first one, but 1, 2, and 3 all on the same one with Super Mario Versus. That would be insane. But same thing like Punch-Out, which I think would be another awesome one. You would probably have a problem with Nintendo wanting to protect their IP like crazy, and they would just never let Arcade 1-Up get near those. I almost wonder if Arcade 1-Up approached Nintendo already to see if this was even an option. I'm sure they probably got shut down because Nintendo, they don't like outsiders messing with their IPs. They want to put out their own stuff, so. But we got, let's see, Defender in its own cabinet, G.I. Joe, X-Men, Captain America, and Avengers, Spider-Man, Terminator, Judgment Day. We'll get back to that. Spy Hunter, Double Dragon, Outrun. I mean, you know, something like Spy Hunter. I mean, I could see something like that, you know, with Outrun. Just some of these stand-up racing games would be a ton of fun, and I think they would definitely sell. You have the Star Wars Flight Yoke, so, you know, this stuff is not impossible here. Now, like I said, I don't know what would be the deal with this, like if there was a foot pedal. I think that they could incorporate that, but I don't know if they would have to ditch the custom riser and just make a solid cabinet. I know a lot of people would love to see that. I don't know if this is really a thing, but I did have somebody leave me a comment a while back in one of the videos talking about, you know, the reason that they make them shorter and have the custom riser is to split the cabinet so that it's classed as something else exactly, something to do with licensing and the sales of these things. There could be some truth to that. It sounds like something that, you know, could, you know, be a reality, because I know there is all kinds of rules with like everything, so you know, but you know, that would be cool if it was full size without the riser, and you had a foot pedal just kind of built into the bottom, you know, something that was self-contained that maybe you just kind of bolted in there. I think that would definitely work. You know, you got that, you got the steering wheel, and you're in business. That would be so cool. And maybe have some buttons on the steering wheel to incorporate another game like, you know, Spy Hunter or whatever, where you're shooting as well. So that would be sick. And let's see here. We got things. Well, I had mentioned NBA Jam, but one I didn't think about was NFL Blitz. That's another one, and WWF WrestleFest. That would be awesome. Now, they would have to probably call it WWE WrestleFest. I don't know how that will work out. I know they definitely probably couldn't call it WWF. That's why the World Wrestling Federation changed its name in the first place. But that would be super cool, you know, regardless. And, you know, we got fighters like Tekken. Huge, huge, huge. That would do phenomenally well. You know, put like Tekken 1, 2, and 3 on a cabinet. That's all you would need is that, and that would sell. You know, stuff like Killer Instinct. Another one, you could put the first couple Killer Instinct games on there. You know, you could add something else if they wanted to, but that would be absolutely awesome. I would be interested in that because Killer Instinct is a really fun fighting game. And, you know, one I had said about is Soul Calibur. I absolutely love Soul Calibur. I think that is a really fun fighting game as well. Sunset Riders, another obvious one, a game that's also on the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. That game is a blast to play, especially in the arcade. You know, that would be really cool. And getting back to ones like Time Crisis, that's on here too. That was a popular one. And Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Now, the light gun games, hands down, was the top ones here that kept coming up. It was pretty much, like I said, any light gun games. It wouldn't even matter. You know, right off the bat, I think of House of the Dead. House of the Dead 1, 2, I guess there's 3. There's probably even more than that. But those games are awesome. And, you know, like Terminator 2 Judgment Day, that game is insane. Just so much fun. But one I didn't think of is Jurassic Park, another light gun game. I mean, these would sell so good, you know, and something you could take home. It's just the problem is the technology of the light gun with the, you know, LCD screen. Now, I know they've been working on this stuff, but I'm not sure, you know, how cheap this stuff is. I know that they do have ways to do it, but like I said, I don't know how good it works. You know, it's still something being worked on, and still, I want to say, sort of in its infancy. I'm sure that eventually they'll have it all figured out, but it would be really cool. And it's one of the top things for a reason. It's awesome. And, you know, let's face it, there's going to be no CRTs in these things. It's just not happening. Alien vs. Predators, one of Capcom's, you know, greats when they were just, you know, soaring high with games like Captain Commando. You know, Capcom was killing it in the 90s. I mean, let's face it, they're killing it now, but on consoles. You know, we got Smash TV, another one. Just, you know, games like this would do absolutely awesome. You know, Paperboy, another one. You know, so obvious, a lot of fun. Everybody loves Paperboy. You know, stuff like that is no-brainer. you know, Robotron, Blastroids, Space Gun, like I said, Double Dragon. There's so many great arcade games, and you guys, thanks so much for just you know, leaving these comments and just you know, because it was so fun going through this stuff and just thinking about it over and over, just the combinations of these cabinets. I mean, you know, like I said, somebody came up with the idea of Qbert, Frogger, and Dig Dug. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. You're talking 3 absolutely just classic games, you know, that would just feel right to be in a cabinet together. But what do you guys think? What do you think of other people's picks? You know, it's so cool. Tron, it was one that was so obvious, and I just kept hearing, you know, Tron, you got basically a fluorescent bulb on the cabinet. Like I said, I was going up and looking up some of these cabinets just to get refreshed with the way they look, and Tron was one I remembered off the bat because it always stood out, and it was one of the most popular on here as well. And you know, it's just basically 4 sub games in one game. There's different styles of gameplay to that game, but you know, it was no shock that kept coming up. That is an absolute classic. And I wasn't surprised to see it. And it's there was some people that's just what they wanted. Tron, 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 Tron. And what I say to that is, hell yeah. That is absolutely awesome. Because that thing looks dope. I gotta tell you, it looks awesome. Well, what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. You know, what do you think of some of these combos that you guys came up with? Not me, but absolutely amazing. Thanks again for the feedback. If you're not subscribed, do me a favor, please subscribe to the channel, guys. I try to put gaming content out like this on a steady basis. And before I go, just think about it. Arcade 1-Up, they're probably, you know, sitting there thinking about all this stuff day after day. What stuff can we put together? You know, would this work? Would that work? Testing this stuff out, getting testers, getting age groups to test this stuff out. Must be a really cool job. I just got to say that. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm the War Train, and I'm out. Have a good one.